is up, Division 2 agents? This is Gamer for Life back with another Division 2 video. Well, my friends, it looks like some of our fellow agents have been using an exploit in the Descent game mode, and the devs have addressed that. Feel free to pause it if you want to read their message, but we're talking bans and rollbacks of these certain individuals who took part in this exploit. I understand people wanting to get ahead in the game, but using exploits is never the way to do it, especially in an exploit that just gives crazy amount of XP, which apparently it did. They should have known that wasn't going to end well with the amount of XP they were getting. So yeah, stay away from exploits. Some other things that I wanted to talk about now that I've had some time to get my feet wet with Year 5 Season 1 is the open world XP. And no better time to talk about it than now with the new apparel event that came out today or yesterday, depending on when I actually upload this video. So you can know the best and fastest way to get XP to start collecting those keys. Now, what was the reason for them to do an open world XP revamp in the first place? Let's hear it straight from them.
Of course, another XP revamp that we have been mentioning before, an overhaul to the complete XP gains in different activities. It's gonna arrive with the first season in Year 5, is the plan. So what we basically want to do is make sure that no one's open world activities worth more your time than others. We want to try, and it can't be perfectly balanced, but at least we want to make sure that it makes sense to do all the activities that are closest to you instead of just running for the same over and over. So most of the activities will have an XP increase, and very few will be adjusted a little down to rebalance that, to make it more enjoyable to just explore and have fun in the game instead of just chasing and resetting the map constantly.
Before this revamp, when I really wanted to farm XP, I did two things in the open world: control points and resource convoys, because both of those gave the most amount of XP. Now what do? Well, control points actually got a buff in XP. So on a heroic map with all directives, we're getting over 800k XP taken out of control point. So definitely still do that. And the other thing I do, instead of the resource convoys, since they took the biggest hit in XP, I do the public executions, because that is one of the ones that got the biggest buff. On a heroic map with all directives, you get 518k XP for public execution. Compare that to the now resource convoys that only get 289 XP, which is even less than the territory controls now, because you get 294k for territory controls. Something else that got a nice buff in XP is the propaganda broadcast. You can now get 489k XP for completing one of these with all directives on. So I guess they did accomplish what they wanted, since there was more things that give out better XP than there was before. But control points, I think, is going to be most people's go-to open world activity, because you can get one done pretty quickly, and getting over 800k XP, that's pretty big time. And it's too much to pass up when you're talking about trying to get a lot of XP fast. So those are the things that I'm doing, especially with this apparel event, to get those keys as fast as possible: public executions, propaganda broadcasts, and the control points. Now, as far as the Descent game mode, I do look around on social media, checking in on how the community is feeling about certain things, and a lot of what I see is actually pretty negative. You have some saying it's too hard and they can't get to the nemesis, or if they do get to the nemesis, they get one-shotted. And you have others saying it's fine, but it's just too boring to play, and that the rewards are just not up to par to keep them engaged with this game mode. One thing I've learned, and it's true with a lot of games, is you just can't satisfy everyone, right? But to be completely honest, when reading negative comments, you can usually find a few positive ones. I have yet to find that one comment saying how they just absolutely love the game mode. You know, it's unfortunate, but I'm just not seeing it. Now, personally, I enjoy the game mode because it's something different. You know, it gives us something else to do in the game. But I do think the rewards could be better to give people an incentive to not only take out the nemesis, but to continue on after the nemesis and have it worth the time they have to put into it. I do think it could use a save point because as it is now, when you are going into Descent, you know you're going to be there for a while because there are no save points. So it's going to be the whole run or nothing. I would love to see them add that where after you take out the prime target in the arena, you have the option to either continue on or you can leave the game mode but come back and pick up where you left off. But not a checkpoint to where when you die you can start back at that same spot again. Only a save point. So if you come back the next day and start where you left off, but you die 5 minutes into where you left off, you still have to start completely over. I really think that would greatly improve people wanting to put time into playing Descent, and of course, adding more rewards won't hurt either. With the amount of exotics that we have to use to upgrade our weapons and gear for the expertise, I don't see why we can't get multiple exotic caches in this game mode. A great incentive, in my opinion, would be 2 exotic caches to take the nemesis out, and then 1 exotic cache for taking out each prime target going forward if you decide to continue on after defeating the nemesis. I know that would motivate me to want to play the game mode more often, that's for sure. But you know, that's just my thoughts on it. Let me know in the comments if you are enjoying it or if it's too boring, or you know, whatever thoughts you may have on it. I would love to hear it. So yeah, that's going to do it for this video, my friends. Thanks for stopping by, hanging out. I hope everyone is doing good, staying safe out there. And as always, my YouTube family, take it easy.